In the red. In the lower left.
NSP Genius.
And in the blue, in the upper right, we have
Anypro Prime win.
EDP cross locations. And I gotta say, it's gonna be a pretty entertaining game to see here. I'm really curious to see what build Genius is gonna do, because he's one of these guys, I love watching his build orders, studying them, learning from them, emulating them.
He is definitely a player that always has all the top builders in his repertoire. Doesn't always stick to one style. He prefers macro, and that's refreshing to see, because a lot of Protosses in the GSL are just totally cool with 4-gating all the time. So, I don't know. I always like the macro style, Tasteless.
Yeah, I mean, macro style is really beautiful to watch. But, you know, there's so much excitement when it comes to these all-ins or these timing attacks. Very smart. They're both checking by this Elnaga Watchtower. If you spot where a probe is coming from, you can usually determine which direction to scout. Maybe you don't need to scout the closest location. In this case, he's not going to do that. He's going to scout exactly where his opponent is.
Yeah, very nice scout there by Genius. It was almost a genius scout.
It was at least of above average intelligence.
At least that, Tasteless.
At least. It's Mensa quality. We're going to have gas taken here. Let's see if they 4-warp gate. They will chrono boost out a Stalker to get rid of the probe, so they can actually start to tech.
That is quite right. We normally see a lot of Stalkers early on. If you don't want to 4-gate, there's a very good chance that you're going to go ahead and, especially on this map, get a Sentry or two as well, because you kind of need that to hold off the 4-gate rushes. Now, interesting, he's scouting still Geniuses and sees no second gas yet. The timing for the early second gas is kind of going by for Anypro Prime, and that normally means it's going to be a 4-gate build. Did save up some chrono boosts. In the meantime, Genius does take both his gases, but he's saved up even more chrono boosts, which is actually really quite interesting. This may mean he wants to tech, but get his warp gates out very, very quickly so that he can defend.
So the probe should leave right now. Nice timing there by Genius. He knows to leave the second that Stalker is out.
And he is just chrono boosting right through his warp gate upgrade. So, you know, he already has that double gas too, so I'm really thinking we're going to see some tech from him.
Yeah.
But it's quite smart, because if you don't get a very fast warp gate upgrade, then your opponent can run you over. Now, going up to 3 gates.
Let's see if he gets a 4th.
Yep, I'm very strongly down in that 4th. I'm thinking we're going to see probably a Twilight Council, but we definitely could see a Robotics as well.
And here's a Twilight Council from Anypro. He may go DTs with only 2 gates.
Interesting. A little bit later second gas. Now, if Genius goes Robotics, he's going to have a perfect counter. You know, if you go DTs and your opponent has Observers, as long as he's very careful about them, and look at that, it is a Robotics. So he could definitely just stomp this in the face, but it could be from Anypro a Blink Rush, in which case you have to be very careful.
Right.
You have to get an Immortal or 2 out to deal with that Blink Rush correctly, or they'll just blink over your force fields and giggle at you.
Yeah, that's quite true. Immortal is actually such an interesting unit. The way it takes damage, the way it deals damage. And yeah, it looks like it is going to be a DT rush. He's got the pylon in close proximity.
Oh, it's Blink. Blink just started.
Oh, really?
Wow. All right,
Wow.
so we are going to see a Blink Rush from Anypro. That's going to make the Sentry almost useless, not quite. But basically, to defend against this, you have to make some extra Zealots. Notice he's already doing that. The Zealots are going to deal a lot of damage to them as they blink up. You still need a good amount of Stalkers so they can't just micro the entire time. And you're also going to want to charge out an Immortal as quickly as possible. It's going to help and really punish the Stalkers for blinking up and getting in close range to you.
Blink is almost complete. Blink is actually such a cool ability. I remember when I first saw that in StarCraft, when they were just showing the alpha or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so cool.
It is. It's actually awesome, and I love it.
Now he's going to be able to blink up here. Oh, my God. He just screwed it up.
He blinked in the wrong place.
He's like, I'm just going to lock these zealots out here. There was only a small chance for that to work once.
Well, now he's going to blink. Oh, beautiful. Anypro just cannot blink up there. Perfect force field.
Damn, man.
Realistically, if he had blinked right on the first time,
might have won.
I think he could have maybe won the game. But now we do have the Immortal, and that's going to make a huge difference.
I like how he knows exactly where to put the force field, where it's high up enough that the blue Protoss hopes or believes that that he can slip up there.
Yeah.
But actually,
just takes a lot of damage instead.
Yep.
Now, Anypro is in a lot of trouble. Genius has 4 more supply right now, and he's got to be feeling good taste. He's got 2 Immortals out. Yeah, right, LOL. You're not breaking this. Now, Anypro may switch his tune and switch over to a containment with sentries. That's definitely a possibility. And OMG, it's going to be a Nexus from Anypro, but Genius is going to get Blink of his own. Be very quiet, Tasteless. Okay. It's a very sneaky thing to counter Blink with Blink.
I don't want to hear us. More stalkers coming in here.
Now, at the same time, we do have Mr. Anypro Prime getting Zealot Charge, so he's just going to make Zealots and Blink Stalkers. And look at that, he is going to do a little bit of containment.
You can see that was a nice attempt at force fielding. Maybe the fucking...
I think that force field, he wanted to divert some of the Stalkers to walk downwards towards the ramp, towards his base, so he could actually hit them. That's really interesting. I like. So, Genius, his Blink is on the way. I've actually not seen this used as a counter, make a couple of Immortals, then get Blink, but I guess that means that you can chase down blinking away units.
Yeah, well, I mean, Blink's great offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if expanding was the right decision here.
I think it's certainly not going to be when this attack comes in.
Yeah. Okay,
Charge
here we go.
Just about to finish.
He sees it. Now, Charge is nice, but if you can blink... Oh, nice. So sick.
Totally cool.
So
and now will he force field that ramp, keep the Zealots up there? That would be beautiful.
That would be so slick if he did that.
Yeah. Killing off those Zealots pretty quick, and Anypro doesn't really know what to do here.
This may be the end of Anypro Prime. It's hard to say that the Nexus is going to go down. Boom. He's in. Oh, nice. He just goes and hops up there. He says, "That's fine. I have way more Stalkers than you do. I'll gladly take on your whole army. Here come the Immortals and the Sentries, and that is going to be GG."
Indeed, it is. Really nice play by Genius. I mean, he is showing his true skill here. Completely outplayed Anypro Prime.
Oh yeah.
I feel almost bad. That first Blink attack could have been far more deadly. May have changed the entire game. Anypro definitely misclicked there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm not completely sure he would have won if he did that right, but he definitely would have been a different game than what we just saw. But Genius, a great player, and he just
There's really no shame in losing to Genius.
No.
He is the BlizzCon champion.
He's a genius, man.
He's just really smart.
Genius.
He's just a really smart guy. And he has the balls to name himself Genius, so you got to respect that. Well, that is our first 2 games, and since we have the winner of the first set and the loser of the second set, we're going to have Rainbow against Anypro Prime.
Ooh,
so that'll be a
good.
TVP.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to go to a 5-minute break in a moment here.
So this would be a good time. Feed the goldfish. You probably forget about it.
Yeah. Be careful. Don't overfeed. They're dumb.
And they're dumb.
They will eat too much.
And
if you give them
don't
too
be
much.
careful what kind of water you fill that up with. You don't want to kill them, you know?
Yeah, you of course need your water purifier and filter aid. Get some of that. I have a fish tank, and sometimes I need to put some filter aid in there.
Yeah.
Filter can't always take care of all those very,
you got
very
your
long
guppies.
fish.
You got your little tank of guppies. You're trying to let them grow up, So, yeah, be sure to feed the pets. It's a great time to do it. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Brush your dog's hair. Keeps it shiny and nice.
You got to clean the dog. You got to love the dog. Needs
Not just
love.
clean, but brush it.
Brush him,
It's good for your relationship. It's good for its coat.
He's going to feel good. He's going to look good. Got to do it. We'll be back soon.
Getting more like a game, and it feels real like we learn to fake the pain. And there's never more than one truth, but you can't always tell you better.